We're back. Okay.
I'm Chad Von Hayden.
And I'm Rose Sahibi. And this is the Rock Radio Podcast.
Number 4.
Number 4, brought to you by rockandrolljihad.com. Coming soon, we'll be the Rock and Roll Jihad Studios with more podcasts. And this is the inaugural podcast title. It's not, it's our 4th episode, but Rock Radio Podcast is
Rock
the
Radio Podcast.
flagship. Maybe not the flagship product. What do you call? What's the word for that when you? It's the first thing on the label.
The first thing on the label?
The first thing on the label.
I have no idea.
Awesome.
But I'll go with the first thing on the label.
Yeah.
Oh,
so Chad and I have been talking for the last couple of hours about this band. They are going to be coming up here in LA. Chad got tickets to.
I got tickets.
Yeah, why
I
don't you
know.
take that?
For those that are listening, I'm holding a pair of tickets here. It's a 13 Dates of Doom tour. It's going to be here February 2nd. It's a Thursday. And I'm really excited about seeing this band called Ghost. And they're also from Sweden. And they're lumped into the black metal, death metal genre, which I kind of understand because of lyrical content. But
Sing about Satan.
they sound more like Blue Oyster Cult to me, and I really am very excited to see these guys, and I'm very excited actually to promote them and turn them on to other people.
So this is one of Chad's latest discoveries that he's given to me, and what I like about them is they do sound like old death metal. By today's standard of what death metal is, with that Cookie Monster kind of vocals, and I do like some of that, not all of it, but I like it when it's kind of brought into that kind of screamo element with that and the melody mixed on top of it. These guys are like old school. They are like Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah, man, and they got great melodies.
Very unexpected.
Yeah, and we would like to.
We'd like to introduce them to you. What's the name of the song?
The name of the song is Ritual. This is Ghost.
Dig it. again.
Yeah. Did you like that? That was awesome, man.
You know, when I think of Scandinavian like death metal and black metal, I think of Norway. I don't know. Have you seen
Yes,
those
I did.
movies?
Yes. Well,
There's
yeah,
a couple of them.
I saw the newest documentary, and it was awesome. I love the documentary. I actually can't even think what it was called.
Something about before the light.
Before
takes-
before the light takes or something like that. And it was very interesting. I totally dug it. I
Yeah.
love that stuff.
Yeah,
But,
it was pretty cool. What other bands, like what are the influences for those bands? We were talking about Venom on Facebook the other day. You and I went back and forth, and a bunch of other people chimed in, and I said, oh yeah, there was like Corrosion and Conformity back then, before death metal became like what death metal is today. Who are some of the other ones that you kind of dig that kind of had that kind of dark sound, you know?
I never actually. I have to be honest. I just started getting into the dark metal and the black metal. Not everything. I'm not a fan actually of the
Yeah.
Cookie Monster. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to apologize. I actually don't like the Cookie Monster guys. So, but I didn't realize is somebody turned me on just recently to old school, but like Pentagram, Venom. So I've really been getting into
Right.
all these other things. They actually had a little bit of melody to them, and
Yeah.
it was awesome. Now here, I just want to tell you, I just started getting into that metal show with Eddie Trunk and them.
Right.
And they just told me that when I was watching, that the black metal guys that they were talking to actually listen to glam metal. They like Poison and Cinderella, and so like,
Wow.
so I was blown away by that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
Because
that's
those
what
scenes
they
were
like.
so opposed to each other back in the day.
Absolutely. So, but they're fans of that stuff as well. So basically, again, music is just—it's so all-consuming.
Right. And you know what? I was opposed to that stuff back in the day. I like the happier, poppier, prettier stuff. You know.
I'm still on that.
And
but
I
yeah.
still did that stuff, and it's still like all my top stuff. But back in the day, I didn't think of the black metal as kind of how I think of it now. I mean, black metal to me, now, like, I don't know who the godfathers of it would be, but I would say Black Sabbath almost, you know. And when I hear these bands with like this kind of Blue Oyster Cult / Black Sabbath type of influence, now, like, I don't remember it sounding that way back in the 80s, but now when I hear it, it sounds cool, you know?
Yeah.
And I know that, like, Metal Blade was, like, the label for it. So, like, there was that Metal Blade sound, you know, which I think they became famous later for their Cookie Monster stuff. But earlier on,
But
you know...
Black Sabbath, like you mentioned, there was nothing like them
Oh,
before
yeah.
that. That was just like it wasn't like they just did a little bit of difference. It was worldly.
I mean,
different.
to me, that's like
it was-
that's the beginning of that dark sound, which eventually spawned death metal, and I feel it also spawned goth music,
and
you
heavy
know,
metal in general.
and heavy metal in general.
I mean, there was just nothing like that.
Right.
When you heard that, you definitely were like, what is this?
right.
Like,
And that's, I think, I don't know, before that, like in rock and roll, obviously with guitar players, there was like Chuck Berry, and through the years until like heavy metal became about guitar players for a long while, and I think Black Sabbath was like a big part of that. You know, like the singers weren't as important. Like who the singer was in Black Sabbath wasn't as important as Tony Iommi. You know, because that was one of the few bands that could get away with like having 3 completely different singers. You know, over time, and they never lost their popularity. You know.
well, in the beginning, I would disagree with that only because I think all 4 of those Geezer, Tommy, and Bill Ward and Ozzy, they made that entire.
No,
band.
they
was
made
like-
it. But do you think they lost any popularity because with Dio they did Heaven and Hell?
I know. You know, this is just a discussion I
Right.
just heard earlier. It was Heaven and Hell and Ozzy. I'll ask you. I just saw this
Yeah.
another discussion. What would you think was better, the Heaven and Hell album with Dio, or Ozzy's first album, Blizzard of Oz?
At the time, I would have said Blizzard of Oz because I was this huge Randy Rhoads fan.
Yeah,
And I
it's
still-
it's a tough
tough call.
because I'm sorry, but that fucking
Yeah.
Heaven and Hell album is brilliant.
It's brilliant.
I mean, Neon Nights,
Yeah.
Heaven and Hell.
I didn't like it at the time. I was an Ozzy fan.
Real? Yeah.
I was an Ozzy fan. I didn't like both. I liked, people were like, well, you can like both. No. I liked where Ozzy was going, and I was all into I was all into Randy Rhoads as a guitar player, and I was like, Randy Rhoads smokes that dude, whatever. But it was like so different. It's like two different types of playing. But now I look back at it and I might say, Heaven and Hell.
Yeah.
Like today, I would say that.
That Ozzy album actually was brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just he was very hungry. He started over.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
But,
it's two different things, and it's a hard. It's probably like on any given day I might have a different answer.
that's just true. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's where I am during the day, but I might have to go with when I was younger. It probably would have been Ozzy, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Yeah.
But now,
100% for
yeah,
me.
yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I have to think about it, but
Yeah.
but it was Ozzy. I can remember being young and picking up that Ozzy Osbourne and freaking out about it.
Yeah.
I loved it, fell in love with
Uh-huh.
it. But man, I am a huge fan of the Black Sabbath album,
Mhm.
Heaven and Hell.
Yeah.
I mean, Dio really did pick up the pace for those two albums, Mob Rules and Heaven and Hell.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. It's pretty strong stuff, and rest in peace, Ron James. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, seriously, he was. I would have to say he's probably the greatest metal vocalist ever.
Like true metal.
Absolutely,
And
I mean,
influence probably too.
everybody loved him. Everybody
Yeah.
in metal just bowed down to
Yeah.
Ronnie
Well,
Jameson.
I freaked out when I saw Tenacious D and they had the thing.
Oh, when he comes out of the poster?
When he comes out of the poster, I was like,
That was
no
brilliant.
way!
I'm glad that he got, because he didn't, he passed away
Yeah,
shortly after
yeah.
that. I'm so glad that he got to do that
Yeah.
and be in that, immortalized for. Not that he's not immortalized in every fucking
Yeah.
Rainbow album, and
Right, right.
but yeah, that was just brilliant, man.
I mean, Dio comforts me in my geekdom because I said before, like I read books about dragons and stuff and all kinds of geeky
oh, and he
shit.
was
so it's
definitely
like
into the fucking
yeah, and I read these books and I'm like, and it brings me back to like high school. I was like, oh, when I was like listening to Dio and like anything like metal, like gothic was metal, but it's still to this day. Like I said, I just finished this book about dragons. I'm still into it.
Oh my god, I was just gonna say, oh my god, Blackmore was into it too.
Yeah.
So that they were a good team.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. Blackmore, man, that fucker could play. But man, I never understood his arrogance. Like he.
I don't think a lot of people did.
Yeah, I saw some really harsh interviews that guy would give.
Yeah.
what is up with that?
No, I mean, and he left. One of my very favorite Deep Purple albums is "Come Taste the Band," and that was right when he left, and Tommy Bolin took over. So
Uh-huh.
he wasn't even in Deep Purple at the time. But that's a great fucking album.
Yeah. So, do we have? There's something else we're gonna talk that I wanted to talk to you about today. But do we have anything in that genre that we could play right now? That would be cool for people. We didn't talk about this yet, but I'm just wondering. I mean,
What genre?
We just played.
Ghost.
Ghost in this heavy metal, like dark heavy metal genre. Is there anything else we could throw out before we jump into this next thing I wanted to talk about?
Oh.
I don't know. We'll find something and we'll cut it in right here.
Shit, talk about fucking Black Sabbath and.
Yeah, I don't think we can play Black Sabbath. I don't know.
Do you?
Might try to be able to find something.
You know what? Whatever
Maybe
it
some
is, it's
Tenacious
gonna,
D.
we'll figure out it's gonna be right here.
Touch me, I feel. Take me, I'm real. Sail away into the sun. I'm everyone. Wake me, I dream. I'm what I seem. Drift away into the night. I'm the light. I am the sky. Help you to fly. Catch your wings. Love I bring. I'm everything. I
got into a thing which I did not expect to agree on.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah, I did not expect to agree on, but I tend not to listen to bands with female fronts. Now, I treat all female bands differently, okay? But for some reason, when it's an all-male band with a female singer, I tend not to be as into them because it ends up becoming about the singer. Excuse me. And I've always had a problem with this because take any band that has been all men with a female singer, and it becomes about her, and she eventually breaks off, and she eventually goes solo, and she eventually becomes the only one who gets any credit.
Right.
It's different when it's an all-female band. I reserve that's a completely different opinion. Like I love the Runaways and actually I don't love the Runaways, but I
do.
I know
Yeah,
you do. I respect what they did, and I like some of their songs, and you know, and they made a great freaking movie about them, which was very
You
enlightening.
did
too.
like the movie?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
So did I. A lot of people did.
Yeah.
I like the movie.
I thought they did a really good job of recreating those characters.
I don't think they should call it The Runaways, but
Yeah.
because it was based on Sherry Curie's book and Neon Heart, by the
Right.
way, and that was basically based on the relationship between
Her
Lita
nurses.
Ford,
Oh.
and Joan Jett.
Okay.
And I thought they should have called it something else because it was mostly based
Well, there
on
was
that.
like nothing
There's-
about Lita Ford in that movie.
Well, at least they used Lita
Yeah.
Ford's movie. They don't use Jackie Fox at all because Jackie Fox didn't want to have anything to do with it. So they just said, "Fuck you, cut her out," and
Ah.
they use a different name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they use a different name from Jackie Fox.
Wow. See, I don't know much of their history, but
Yeah,
I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, the movie, I
simply
thought the
because
movie
I
was
thought it
good.
was a good rock and roll movie.
It
you know?
was, and I know how I love rock and roll. Anything.
Right.
So I think they should have called it something different. But anyway, regardless, it was a good rock and roll movie. Man.
So now take a female band, a female front person situation. How do you feel about that?
Well, here it is for everyone to know now. Most people who are close to me know that I am not a fan of female artists, and it's not because they're not as good. It's just I don't feel when I listen myself personally when I hear a female artist, it does not convey. I can't think of the right word. It just doesn't. I don't feel it. I don't feel like I'm listening to something real. It seems.
Well, you know, they're coming from a different place.
Oh,
Men and women are different.
absolutely.
So when I think of rock and roll, I think of angst, and like I think of like for me, like rock and roll is about what's in your fucking gut, what's in your it's got balls.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that they can't do it, but it comes from it feels like it comes from a different place, and the angst is different, and it doesn't connect with me the same way that male rock and roll connects with me. But I think, like I said, I have more of a problem with a band with a female singer because of, like I said, it never fails. Eventually, she's the focus. Nobody else gets credit. She breaks off anyways.
Right.
They build something else around her, and they develop her, and bye-bye band.
Well, my thing is songwriting. I'm not saying that. Can they sing as well as a man? Hell yes.
Yeah.
I've seen Lita Ford and.
It's not an issue of talent.
Absolutely, they've seen just as many female guitar players that
The
play
only-
just as well as anybody else. The thing is, I just don't get it. It just doesn't grab me.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. Songwriting is usually the issue for me. I just haven't seen a lot of female artists write as great as songs. That's not to say that I don't have.
Because you do like the Runaways.
I love the Runaways,
Yeah.
but most of them aren't heavy metal
Right.
that I like. I like
Right.
Amy Mann.
Right.
I like Heart.
Well,
You know,
it's because
like-
maybe
but-
that has to do because heavy metal is this testosterone-based music, and maybe it's just part of that. But
Well,
I
that
mean,
doesn't turn me off
Yeah.
at all. It's more about songwriting for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
There's nothing that grabs me. If
Right.
there was, it would be different. But I haven't found that yet.
You haven't found that yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like great rock bands like Heart and the Runaways. I mean, they wrote.
Even Lita Ford has
Yeah.
great songs I
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
she's written what "Kiss Me Deadly" is like. I don't know if she wrote that.
I think so.
Did she write that
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
For some reason, I thought there was another writer involved with that one.
Well, Back to
But-
the Cave. I love that song from her. And like,
Yeah,
you know,
but I'm
the-
talking
the-
about that song specifically. Is like if there was 5 or 10 songs that you picked from that pop metal era that were just really sum it up, I would put that song in there. You know, I would put that. You're nodding. You're like, oh, maybe
Well,
not.
I'm
but-
just thinking because it was almost too like commercial.
Well, it was the end of the era.
Yeah, it was,
It's like
yeah.
it's like
out of all her songs. I guess I'm looking at her catalog.
no, but I'm talking
thinking,
about the novelty of that era. You know, like when people think of that hair metal, like the end of it all. Like it's time to like kind of move on to something else. But here are the 10 songs that kind of sum it up. You know, to me, like that would be in there. You know, that would be in there, and maybe "Talk Dirty to Me" from Poison would be in there. You know, but
I don't know. I might pick her duet with Ozzy. But,
yeah. Well, to me, that was just a great song. But
yeah.
But yeah, I tend to feel the same. I really get annoyed with female front persons, and it's not always their fault. A lot of times, most of the time, it's the record label. But that's why you don't see it as much anymore. You know,
Yeah.
the record label would want to market stuff around her, and then take her out of it and develop her and groom her, and make something bigger. You know, that was a record label thing, and fortunately, the record labels are going away, and doing it.
they're pretty much gone.
Yeah, they're doing things differently now. So unfortunately, we don't have that development thing as much anymore. We don't get to
At
see.
all. It's
we
not-
don't get to
it's not
see
there.
artists
Yeah.
develop
No.
unless there is an exception though when artists are really into what they're doing and they don't give a fuck whether or not they have a record deal or not, and they just stay together and they keep doing what they're doing. With or without the label.
I love that. Yeah.
And you'll see that with a lot of these new
Well,
bands.
they usually are the ones that turn me on. They're the
Right.
ones because they're doing it for the love of music.
Right. Right, for sure. That's good stuff.
But you can you can go ahead and tear me a new one. People go ahead and call in or write in because
Send your emails to him.
yeah, I'm just not there. Whatever, like, get over it. Like,
Good times. All right. Well, so we covered death metal and female front persons today. Not bad.
Very little bit, hey?
We're going through it. Soundtracks. Oh, you gonna dig up
oh
something?
no, I was just thinking of soundtracks. Jesus, I never even thought about that.
What was the last great soundtrack?
There's a lot, but I'm thinking rock and roll and metal. I mean,
Rock, no, it's just a great
we
song
can
with
go-
pop, metal, rock. I mean, what was the last
one of my favorite soundtracks is Better Off Dead. Do you remember that movie?
Remember that movie?
It's a great soundtrack, and it's actually I have it and I own it, and I just checked today. It's going for $150 on eBay.
Wow.
I mean Amazon. Yeah. Like, I guess it just went out. Yeah, but I'm never gonna sell it.
Yeah,
It had
yeah.
some great. The Fix, Cy Kernan and Robert Hine is doing a song called "With One Look," and it's one of my favorite songs ever. And it's beautiful, but it also has a lot of like Van Halen.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that song on there?
No, I don't.
Oh my God, what was it? Fools.
No,
Everybody Wants
everybody
Some.
wants them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
okay.
the hamburger.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember the Van Halen scene in there, but everybody wants them. Yeah, now I remember. But yeah, Better Off Dead was a great movie.
But it had a great soundtrack. Who else? Well, Velvet Goldmine.
Right.
Fucking absolutely brilliant
Right.
soundtrack for the glam rock scene. And then I didn't like the movie Rockstar, but it actually had a couple songs on it. Everclear had the song Rockstar, which I really dug. How about Detroit Rock City? The movie.
Yeah, that's what I finally saw that movie. It took a while, but I finally saw that movie a couple of years ago.
Oh, I like that movie.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
got slammed too. I don't. But I guess you have to be like a rock and roll fan and kind of done that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Jumping in the car with friends to try and get to the show and.
Oh, you don't think people have done that?
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
they had to have done that. Everybody.
Making that crusade to make that show happen. Yeah, good times.
I know a thing or two about her. I know she'll only make you cry.
put in other stuff, or do you got?
All right. Do you want to? If you want to do another video, how about we go back in time to the '70s? Good. We talk about a lot of punk stuff that we like.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
The early punk.
Uh-huh.
One of my favorite bands was called the Adverts.
Right.
And there's a song called "Bored Teenagers."
Right.
And I absolutely love them to death.
Now, I remember you showed me a live clip. I think that's probably what we
From the
could
Top
play
of the
here.
Pops.
Yeah.
Or was it Old Grey Whistle Test?
I
Either one.
love. I love. To me, it's like punk or metal or rock, whatever it is. When it has that hooky chorus, I don't care what genre it falls into.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Me too.
And they got. And what I remember from what you played of the Adverts was, I was like, "Who is that? That's good shit." I mean, the sound quality is a little iffy, but you know that's to be expected from a live '70s show or
Punk.
whatever. Yeah, and it was punk rock.
They
Exactly.
probably learned their instruments a week before.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? And that says something. We talking about, you know, we got into with the female artists too, and with punk, angst. You know, it's not always about being able to execute, not so much execute, but play your instruments. It's being able to deliver that angst, and sometimes
Absolutely.
just knowing 3 chords is all you need to just go, I'm trying to tell you something. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I like
Yeah.
about it. And somehow they got melody.
And then yeah, exactly. And a lot of people, you know, think of punk as just these guys who can only play 3 chords. But no, to me, like punk, rock, and it's rock, you know, punk rock was just as melodic and poppy and hooky as any other kind of music.
When it started, absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. And well, even stuff today, even though I might not like as much of it, and I got to filter through tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of crap, I can still find
That's true.
hooks, and I'll be like, oh, it's fucking
Right.
catchy. I dig it.
I think what I was meaning, it was like
Yeah.
right after the 70s and when the DIY stuff in the 80s, like Minor Threat and all that stuff. They weren't,
Right.
They weren't in Black Flag. There wasn't a lot of melody to that.
Right.
So that's when I kind of shied away from it.
Exactly. That's when it just started becoming all about the message and the angst. But then Nirvana brings it back and goes,
Nirvana to me was not a punk band.
yeah, I know, but they came from that.
I know,
They
I
came
know, I
from
totally got-
that angst, and they just like, you know what? These are the bands we listen to, but we're doing
But
it
do you
our
even
way.
think they were grungy?
No, no, no,
I
I
thought,
mean,
I thought
I
they
don't
were
think-
like they were just a rock fucking band.
Well, I think that
Punk
whole
rock.
Seattle scene, that quote unquote grungy. I mean, I like the Screaming Trees. I thought they had a couple of great tracks.
They had
you
a
know?
couple good songs. I
And,
wasn't a huge fan,
um,
but I definitely liked.
No, not a
Screaming
huge
Trees.
song, not a huge fan,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I thought they had good songs.
Absolutely.
There was a couple of Alice in Chains songs I dug.
There's a lot of
There's
Alice in Chains on there,
there's a couple of Pearl Jam songs, and there's a lot of Nirvana songs I dig. You know, a lot, and they spawned.
I don't think there was anything I did not like.
Right.
From Nirvana.
Yeah. And
Right.
they spawned that. They brought that angst back. They brought back.
Well,
the
not
angst.
only that, here's something else that I really do dig about Nirvana, as opposed to a lot of them. Kurt Cobain was intelligent.
Yeah.
He would write some of the, if you dig into his lyrics, they're amazing
Yeah,
and
yeah,
deep.
yeah.
And it makes you think, and that's what I loved about it.
And after his demise, you know, it's like, wow, he was that hurt person. He really was. I mean,
Absolutely.
now he can't hide it. That wasn't fabricated.
No,
That's
no.
why it was so fucking good, and that's why it changed so much. He was that person where those lyrics came from an honest place, and unfortunately, you know, we got to see just how serious he was.
Yeah.
You know, when he took his
I'm
own
really
life. But,
I'm really sad that Courtney killed him. Yeah. Sorry.
did you? So
I
did,
saw-
did you
I-
read the book? Did you read the book or see the movie?
I'm a huge Nirvana fan. I've read all the stuff. I've done. I don't believe he killed himself. That's just me. I'm
Really?
I'm one of the believers that I think that she had him killed. Yeah.
That is so, it just something.
I
There's,
don't
there's a
believe-
lot. There's a lot in that. There's a lot of evidence that points to that. But there's something so fantastic about hearing you say that it's hard to accept.
There's so much non-evidence that's going on with police that they did not investigate certain things, and there's certain things that what's her name? I came with Courtney Love
Uh-huh.
has said herself amongst few friends that I
Yeah.
know who have said things, and I'm like, really, that's hardcore. So I won't
Was
go
she
into it,
was
but
she a hardcore heroin addict at the time of his death?
I think she still is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Turns up
but
and down. I don't
she's
know.
just insane. That's why
Yeah.
she was insane, whether she's on drugs or not.
Now, do you feel like there was one really good Hole record, and there's only been one, in my opinion?
Yep.
Do you think that the rumors are true that Kurt pretty much wrote those songs?
Yeah.
Dude, do the math. I mean, listen to the first Hole album. She marries Kurt. Listen to the second Hole album.
Kurt
It
dies.
sounds-
Listen to anything she's done
Yeah,
since.
it sounds well. No,
Yeah.
what's his name? Actually, it's not a bad album. Her third one,
Uh-huh.
but oh my God, what's his name? Bald, Smashing Pumpkins. Billy
Uh-huh.
Corgan actually wrote that one for her.
Oh, okay.
For the most part.
I didn't listen to much Hole, but
Yeah, but that whole album that she did after the first one, I can't think of, Pretty Inside or something. But anyway, it was an amazing album. It was
Uh-huh.
actually really good.
Yeah.
But dude, it had Kurt written all
it
over
definitely
it.
had that feel. I can't deny that. I wasn't there. I can't
Yeah,
say
yeah.
for sure.
I'm
you
only
know?
we're only speculating.
Yeah, this is all
Speculation.
speculation. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna make a long story short. We're gonna play the adverts now.
Is that what we're gonna do?
I think so.
Let's do it. The adverts. Bored teenagers. Oh wait, did we already start?
Huh?
That's it. I thought we might actually play that already.
Did we? No, I think we talked about playing it, and then we got into another conversation.
That's right.
And
So-
now we're playing it.
Nah, I know. Enjoy this.
Bye. No, not bye. We're coming right back.
Okay.
We're tucking into corners, finding ways to fill the vacuum. And no one knows a drive, it's only home to hear something new. Tides of other tracks, a way to revive, but no way to relax. We're just poor teenagers, luminations, the emotional rages. Poor teenagers, see ourselves as strangers. We talk about the whys and wherefores, do we really care at all? Talk about the frailty of words is rarely meaningful. When we're sitting watching the planes burn up through the night like meteorites. We're just poor teenagers, luminations and emotional rages. Poor teenagers, see ourselves as strangers. Poor teenagers. Poor teenagers, oh yeah. We're poor teenagers. Poor teenagers. We're just poor teenagers. Born out of our heads, born out of our minds.
All right, that was great. I like that, dude. I hope you like that. Bored teenagers.
Yeah. You missed your cue.
What key
You're
was that?
supposed to, when we came back from the second video, you're supposed to bust out the whistle.
Oh, what? I'm sorry. Oh my God, where's my?
Oh, you blew it! You blew the whole setup.
Oh, I'm here. Sorry, it was.
Oh, it was-
Ready? Here we go. You know what that sound is, Ro? It's time for LSD. Well, shut up there.
Okay. I got my butt kicked last week, and the funny thing about last week, or last episode, was as soon as he put the song on, I knew the answer. Like, he's like, okay, I'm going to play you this song now. This was off camera.
So LSD is lyrics spoken dramatically. Are you ready, bro?
Yeah, I just keep feeling like every time you say that, when we do this segment, I got to throw my hands up. Like,
All right, that's
okay.
good enough for you. Of course, people are listening don't know you're doing that, so.
So everybody who's listening to this broadcast, I'm moving my hands outwards.
All right,
Jazz hands.
here we go. Ready? He hates you. He loves money. And he'll steal your shit and think that it's funny. Like the Beatles, he ain't human. Now the tax man is out to get you. There we go. What do you think, bro?
I think this one is just gonna stump me. Again. You're gonna make me look bad every time.
I'm
on
gonna
this.
every time.
Every time.
But the thing is, Ro is going to try and stump me next
Yeah,
time.
next week I get to stump him. So
And you.
yeah, he's gonna give me the answer at the end of this. But if you have the answer, the way this goes, if I figure it out, I'm gonna whisper it to him, and he's gonna say, yeah, I got it, or I didn't, and then you guys have to figure it out too, and then you can, if you want, post your answers. We talked about first person to post the correct answer. We'll work something out.
Yeah,
Maybe
absolutely.
we'll be on the show or something.
Absolutely.
Like that. Okay, so that was LSD. Jazz hands. Do we do the whistle before, after it, or just the one time before?
Just one time before.
Okay.
Yes. So,
Okay, let's move on to vinyl.
oh, you're kidding? Really?
No,
Vinyl too?
no,
Vinyl is my fucking.
I know
my
it's
forte,
it's
man.
your thing. You have a bad habit. You don't go to. We discovered that you can't go into Amiga Records for a while because
Once a year.
you've never left without spending $300-400.
Exactly. I come home with vinyl like I'm using my arms and
Yeah.
showing Ro right now that I'm like
Yeah,
this
and,
many.
You
I
know,
mean,
we'll
literally-
give you a tour of his music collection, but literally, I'm leaning up against a box right now filled with music, and it's only one box. There's like 15 of them here. It's insane. It's insane. So every week we've up to this point, I think we've mentioned vinyl at some point because vinyl to me is just fascinating. There's new technology.
Absolutely.
Yeah, new technology that's letting you rip MP3s from vinyl. People are like, well, what's the point of that? I mean, if you're going to rip an MP3, I mean, you might as well do it from... The point is, vinyl has a different sound.
Absolutely. And not only that, the reason I do is because a lot of these vinyl bands were not re-released anyway on CD. You have to. You have no other choice.
And that's one of your big things, right? When you go to look for music, you look for things that have not been re-released
Absolutely.
on CD.
Yeah. It's just it's like brand for me. Okay, I do like to listen to new music, and I go out of my way. I do some research for new music. I will do that until the day I die because I know there's always going to be great bands here and there that I can pick up. But for me personally, I find better music that's older from the 70s and 80s that I haven't heard, which is new music. to
Right,
me.
right.
So I do that, and I actually put it on my iTunes, and I post it. I'll make little videos of the album cover and put it up, and people freak out on it. They give me feedback. They're asking me, who is this? Where can I get this? Well, you can't.
Yeah.
You know, the only way you can do is you have to scour your record stores for it as well. You know, or I'll make you a copy of it because
Right.
I don't think they're actually getting paid anymore. I really don't like making copies of someone who's actually
Uh-huh.
getting paid for the music, but vinyl that has not been released on CD now.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they're getting paid for buying a used album.
No, they're definitely not. And
And that's unfortunate. you know?
accounting was fishy for most of those medium-sized labels anyways.
Yeah.
You know, and half the time, I'd say more than half the time, the bands weren't getting their checks due.
Some of those weren't even like I mean, medium labels. A lot of those I pick up are like A&M, you know, or
That's true. I mean,
Atlantic.
there are so many bands that have been signed, put out, then shelved. That there is no reason for them to re-release on CD because they have 100 fans, and they're not going to spend the money to promote them.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it gets lost in these catacombs, and junkies like yourself have to go and dig them out and show people like me who want to hear new stuff, even if it's old. Hey, dude, this is something I found you might be really into. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, too, there's some cool trivia to go with that band. Like, oh, by the way, they're not as obscure as you might think. So-and-so, produced the album. I think with the Screams, it was like, they toured with Van Halen.
Yeah.
Played
Yeah.
there's like other trivia there that makes you go, oh, wow, they're not as obscure as you might think. But a major label puts out, I think, well, at the time, 300 new acts a year.
And that's even more than that. And not only that, but which you probably already know, only maybe 2 of them actually.
Most of what they were doing, and I wouldn't know the accounting on it, but I know that of the 300 new acts that they would put a year, still their biggest sellers were always their catalog and their top artists. So it was just a matter of they would just throw things at the wall and see what sticks.
Right.
You know, so these bands that had maybe one small top 100 hit or something, they're gone forever unless you find it, bring it back, you know, contact the members, get some history, whatever, and all the information that went with them are gone because pre-internet.
Remember the Kings?
Yeah, no, who are the Kings?
Oh, see, it's a good example. The Kings did that. Oh my God! Now I'm gonna. Did this one huge hit.
As first, when it first came off your tongue, I thought you said the Kings, and I was like, yeah, of course I remember the Kings.
No,
but
no,
the Kings.
The Kings.
Yeah. Do not know.
You're gonna kill me. I bring it up, and now I can't think of their huge hit, and I love the song. Down, down, down.
Rock out.
Sorry.
Keep going.
I can't think of the tune, man. Oh, switching to glide.
I don't know that song.
You don't know switching to glide?
No.
Oh man. Okay, well I gotta turn you on to them.
Okay.
But most everybody else out there.
Is it a
probably
vinyl
gonna-
only thing right now?
No, they finally got picked up
Okay.
and re-released. I think the band did it themselves. Actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can get it on CD now, and yeah, it's such a.
So if the band did it themselves, maybe we can contact them and get a video or something from them to play. So you can like.
there is a video that they put up themselves
Oh, okay.
on YouTube. We can probably use it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I'll check that out and maybe we'll put that. Like I said, want to play as much, promote as much stuff as possible for new bands or old bands who
Yeah.
need it.
From a two-step point of view, like a kettle in the kitchen, I feel the steam begin to brew. Switching to glide, switching to glide, switching to glide.
The song was "Beat Goes On" / "Switching to Glide." It was two songs, and it was like this really long thing.
Mhm.
And they actually split it up, kind of like Queen's "We'll Rock You" into "We Are the Champions."
Right.
Yeah.
Queen. Cool. Freddie Mercury movie, Queen movie.
With
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah, and I'm actually, you know what? I'm for it.
Yeah. Me too.
He's going to be amazing.
No,
gonna
he pulls off.
Well, no, he pulls
anything,
it off,
anything.
and I don't think it's going to be. I mean,
He-
I've heard people think that it's going to be silly. No, I think he's going to take that very seriously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He is so underrated as an actor because most of his stuff is silly, you know. But think about the people he has fooled with his characters,
Absolutely.
and he can sing.
And
which
not
people
only
don't
that,
know.
but I saw him in where he did a different character in the Johnny Depp movie,
The Sweeney Todd remake,
and
yeah,
he was
or-
fantastic in that.
Yeah, I think he was the only thing that was great about
To
that
be
movie.
honest with you, I agree.
Yeah.
I thought he was amazing.
Johnny Depp had no right singing those show tunes.
and don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Johnny Depp
Yeah,
fan.
that was not. They should have used a voice. I mean, as shitty as that sounds,
Yeah.
he shouldn't have been allowed to sing those songs. And you don't want Helena Bonham Carter or Helen Bonham.
Yeah, that-
You don't want her. I mean, it's hard enough to hear her talk sometimes. You don't want her singing a song. You know what's funny is like my favorite parts about that movie, other than the gore and the fact that it was a musical. I expected a lot from it because it was Stephen Sondheim getting into this show tune stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But I was expecting a lot from the movie because I was like, oh wow, Johnny Depp.
Right.
I wonder who
Tim
they're gonna.
Burton.
Yeah, I wonder who they're gonna get to do the singing, and they're like, then you hear that, oh, it's gonna be Johnny Depp singing it. Okay, but they had some character like the boy plays the young lad, the young sailor. He was like an unknown. He was a Broadway kid, and his performance is amazing. Sacha Baron Cohen's song is amazing.
Amazing,
in that.
yeah.
But the two leads just had no right singing that material.
I was not impressed by that movie. I didn't hate it, but I don't think I'd ever watch it again.
I can't believe I got it. I drug you into a show tunes conversation. Okay.
Oh, but I don't. I actually like show tunes. So we're gonna. You know what? We're gonna bring it up more often
Yeah.
than you think.
Probably every Christmas, it's time for Sound of Music.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Velvet Goldmine
Oh, yeah.
is a show tune
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I mean, because they actually sing a lot of the stuff
Yeah.
going on, and I mean that's fantastic.
Right.
I mean, there's others that I.
Oh,
totally
for
like.
sure. And
What was the one Ian McGregor did? I loved it.
Lifeless Ordinary.
No, show
He's-
tune movie.
The Moulin Rouge.
Yes, I
Yeah.
loved
Yeah.
that movie.
Yeah.
That was
I
amazing.
thought I thought that had its moments. I thought Ian McGregor could have been better prepared for the singing. But I thought it had its moments, and I liked the way it was fast cut. It was like a music video, so it was always entertaining and really colorful. And
I like the songs they chose for it
yeah.
as well.
But in The Life Less Ordinary, he busted out into a musical number in that one too.
No, I haven't seen that in a while, so I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But I did see 300 Days of Summer with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and they busted out in something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that was great as well.
Ah,
Yeah, you might have to check that out.
might have to check that out. Okay, so let's
Moving on.
let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move it on. Let's get out of the show tunes. All right. So, what have you been listening to this week?
Besides
The Ghost that we.
besides Ghost and stuff, yeah, I've just been trying to get. I've been coming across like songs here and there from certain artists that I'm hoping that whole albums. That's the trouble, is that I want to find a group that I can actually latch onto that has more than just a single or just
Right.
and I don't come across that a lot. Most times I come across an album that has one or two good songs.
Mhm.
And of course, that's been going on for a while now.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
And that's sad. That's the days of me waiting outside of a record store,
Right.
like waiting for the new Motley
Mhm.
Crue, waiting for
New
the
Music
new Kiss,
Tuesdays.
for the new Leonard Skinner. You
Yeah.
know, anything. I knew when I got those albums that 9 out of 10 songs were going to be amazing. That doesn't happen to me anymore.
Yeah.
Actually, then I will. I don't know if you like these guys. The last band that it happened to me to was My Chemical Romance. I absolutely
Which one?
waited for the Black Parade to come out,
Yeah.
and was not disappointed
Yeah.
in the least. They were the last band I can think of that blew me away. I could not keep that CD out of my
Yeah,
player for like weeks and weeks.
I ran that one into the ground too, and I like the one right before that too.
No,
The,
that's what got me into them.
that one. I'm Not Okay.
Three Cheers
track was
for-
like
Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge or something.
Yeah, that Helena I think was the
Yes.
one track, and
That's the only
that-
one actually. It was okay for me.
Yeah.
It was the other songs in that album that I loved.
yeah. But that was the one that turned me on to it. I saw this crazy video, and I was like, "Who are these guys?"
And they make
And
great
then-
videos, by the way.
Right, and then I saw the video for I'm Not Okay. And I was like, wow, this kid means it when he's singing. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
He fucking means it.
There's a song that wasn't as big as the other ones on that album called "The Ghost of You."
Yes.
That's
That's like the
favorite.
third or fourth
yeah.
song on the.
And
Yeah.
no, the video is heart wrenching.
I've never seen the video for that, but
Oh,
that
it's
song
awesome. Yeah.
fucking kills.
Yeah, absolutely. I like every single song on that album.
Yeah.
So that's what I was looking forward.
Yeah.
And again, I actually got like flack
Mhm.
for liking them.
Well, you know what? You're
but-
gonna get flack. You're gonna get flack for any new school band, especially when it's a young kid dressing up. And I don't know why, but you're gonna get
Well, they
flack
call
for
them
that.
emo. I do not call My Chemical Romance emo because they
And then
were
they coined the
writing.
term screamo, which was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was, like so silly.
Well, actually, that helped me. Like,
Did it help you?
yeah, because I don't like that. Where they okay, I would think it's a joke when someone's going la la. Okay, if you're gonna do that, yeah, thanks for letting me know that it's screamo because I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
It's
Well,
like,
they coined that phrase at the time, and they fell into that category. That they weren't emo, they were screamo. And then that kind of at that time. This is still that album is what, like 8-9 years old now,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And at the time, I mean, that other stuff was coming up too, and it kind of came from the whole same scene. But they were being called a screamo.
I
band.
did not know they were called
Yeah.
screamo.
Well, I don't think they'd agree with it. I don't.
Well, they weren't
But I think
screaming, though, yeah,
they.
they're-
I think just the scene in general that they were attached to was the screamo.
Because he was actually singing throughout the whole. He
Yeah,
had
yeah,
not
for
only
sure.
Good voice and good. He had great lyrics.
Yeah.
I
I
love
mean,
it.
the Black Parade was just a great story.
Sorry,
you know,
but
it's just-
that album to me, I heard Queen, I heard Pink Floyd, I heard like
Yeah.
all the great
Yeah.
like olds. They went back and they actually learned.
And, yeah, and I
great-
think it's because he's an artist, you know, and not just him, but the band in general. They
Yeah.
appreciate different types of art, and they really understand where the music came from. Like I've heard them talk about older bands and their influences, and they're really into it. They weren't like one of these bands like, well, you know, when I first went to a Blink-182 show, I decided that, you know, that's what I want to do. I want to be like Blink-182. They're not one of those, because a lot of bands from that genre, from that time, were born from that. You know,
Right.
and they only knew the bands around that scene, and they never. But My Chemical Romance absorbed everything around them, and they went back and it shows, man. They appreciate it, and he's like a comic book artist too, so his vision,
Absolutely.
you know, his vision
Yeah, yeah,
came
yeah.
out in the music, and talented players, and everyone was involved in the writing, and I think it was, you know, they don't get enough credit because people think that they're just a silly, you know, young pop.
I
punk band,
agree.
you know?
I don't think they really got the recognition they deserve. I mean, obviously, that's ridiculous to say because they're huge. I
Yeah.
tried to go see them at the House of Blues.
Yeah.
And I called the next day. Go like, "Is there a line yet?" They're going, "Don't even bother." I guess.
Yeah.
And it was like they were playing that night.
Yeah.
And I called at like 8 in the morning, and there was a line like 4 blocks down. So I
Yeah.
was really bummed because I never got to see them, and I always wanted to see them.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, their new album blows.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
They
Hold on.
completely went to another.
What'd they do?
As far as I heard, someone said they went back to their old school, which is fine. But I guess they went so far back that it made no sense. It's just like it was. I watched the first 2 videos they did, and I was so disappointed. I mean, it was just horrible. So
Yeah,
yeah,
drag.
nothing against you guys. I mean, I'm still a fan, and I will stand behind you. And I cannot wait to see you. I hope that I get to see Chemical Romance live. But yeah, it was.
Here's my problem with the kids that call it emo and still call it emo and the whole emo scene. My biggest problem, and I've had this discussion with them, that kind of music is emo. What's emo mean? Emo is short for emotional. Are you fucking serious? Isn't any good music emotional?
Absolutely, I know that was weird to me too when I first heard that. I didn't know what emo stood for. When I finally heard it was
Are you-
emotional, dude, all the music I listen to is very emotional.
And
It's like,
they're so emo. It's like, oh.
but,
Yeah,
but again, Ro, it's the haircuts.
Okay. My haircut's emo.
I think that they like called these guys emo for the haircuts. I mean, there's so many funny little things that were made, like cartoons and stuff on the emo guys, like crying and all this stuff. But it's just, I saw them and I laugh as well. But I still don't get the emo thing. I think they only are jealous because these kids look better.
Anytime a look is going to come into play, and you know what? Once you're 10 years away from that look, no matter what you call it, it's just rock and roll, man.
It
So,
is. I will completely agree with you on
Yeah.
that. I listen, like I said, My Chemical Romance's Black Parade is nothing if not just a pure great rock and roll album.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
Yeah, it's a good
fucking
record.
Emo, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Mama, the song Mama on that is Queen.
Yeah.
You ripped off Queen.
Yeah, they
Thank you.
You know what? They kind of just straight up ripped that one off.
Oh,
right?
yeah. And I'm
Lyrically and everything.
And
yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we're not going to get a new Queen record.
Yeah.
So I'll take that.
No, but we're gonna get a new Queen movie.
Yes, that is true. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
So,
Fucking-
yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, that's the emo discussion.
Yeah. It'll come up again, I'm
Yeah.
sure, because we have no control over that.
Yeah.
It's just like
Emo. But how many emo kids does it take to change a light bulb?
I think I've heard this one.
Like-
How many?
I think the answer is none. Who cares? Just leave it dark.
I don't know. There was
Because then you could do the same joke for like goth or something.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
many
you
goth
could.
kids does it take to change a light bulb?
Yeah.
None. Who cares? Just leave it dark. Just leave it off or whatever. Silly.
All right, what else we got going on?
What do you got
here,
on
man?
your list? Because I can do another emo joke.
I think you're gonna have to. I'm down, man.
Well, believe it or not, we've been rambling for almost an hour again.
Shut up.
Yeah. this-
Already?
Well, we're creeping up on it.
If you guys are still listening, thank you.
Fucking
You guys
A.
are, you guys are out
I
of
can't
your
believe you're
minds.
sticking with our banter. Let's
Absolutely.
pick something out of the blue. Let's just take a minute here to relax and think about what we want to talk about next.
Let's see.
Um,
I was doing the beer cock. Sorry.
no beer cock.
That's right. No
We-
beer cock.
we learned our
we
lesson.
had
Beer cock?
feedback.
Yeah.
We had feedback.
That to me, that was the best feedback we got on
Yeah.
some of the early.
And actually, that's I can go into that right now. Thank you for everyone who did
Yeah.
give me feedback, and we are trying different things, and The Beer Cock is gone.
Beer Cock's gone.
Yeah.
Local bands, unsigned guys who are just getting it together. Maybe getting ready to release your first thing, demo, whatever. We want to hear from you guys too. Send stuff to us. We'll listen to everything. Do you have anybody friend wise that you've been seeing around town that's you've been like keeping an eye on?
I'm a recluse. I don't leave my house. But there are, fuck. I can't think of anybody new, old. There was this old band called Tape. I don't know if anybody remembers Tape from back in the day, but they were fantastic. And in a future episode, I'm going to give Ro something. Maybe we can make an actual video. They've long broken up. But
know any of the guys that we can contact and ask their permission? to do
no,
it?
but we
just do it.
Yeah, we'll just do it. And you know what? I've actually had that happen before with other things, and they actually enjoyed the fact that someone even remembered.
Oh, I love that. It happened with Cousin Oliver. You know, some kids were out there and they put up Cousin Oliver's song with a picture of the CD cover and.
Oh, on YouTube.
Yeah,
I got
on
a hold
YouTube.
of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool. Yeah. You had mentioned that to me before.
Yeah. I actually
That's cool.
talked to them, and they were really happy about that.
One
Just
guy
to know-
did a Monster Mash video, which blew me away that somebody took the time to do that.
It is cool when people
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
I saw that too. It kind of reminds me, like I told you about the MySpace
Yeah.
pages I made for other bands.
Yeah, it's
and
so
on
cool.
YouTube, there's a lot of cool people who will take the time to not just put it up because they love the music. So my friend Jim Goss from is probably my oldest friend. Not me, he's older than me. He's just like I've had we've been friends forever.
You guys
And
go
he's-
back.
Yeah. In fact, we're gonna have to have him call in because
Okay.
he is out of his mind, crazier than even me, believe it or not, in music.
Okay.
So he will know all the craziness.
Okay.
So we'll have him call in sometime. But oh god, I lost my train of thought. What the hell was I?
Oh no,
thinking?
when you're talking about bands, that you put up on YouTube and things like that. That's what we were talking about.
I know, but I don't know why he came up. Anyway, so we I'm just using this excuse to throw Jim Goss out there. No, he.
Drugs and rock and roll.
What's that?
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Oh yeah, okay, subliminal.
It'll occasionally tinkle with your memory. Maybe not the next episode, but the episode after that. We were talking about trying out a location because, like I've talked about, our possible new sponsor. Not possible new sponsor, but our new sponsor who's going to sponsor the location and internet connection so we can go live.
And you're gonna love the location.
Yeah, it's
You're
it's
gonna
badass.
love it. Yeah.
We're working on making that happen so we can bring guests down. That might not happen for a couple of months. In the meantime, if we need to have guests, we will squeeze in here
We'll
and
work
get
it
comfy
out.
on the couch and whatnot. But we're definitely planning on lots of that stuff here in the future. So that would be great. Also, we can do Skype conversations if you have
Can you say that again?
Skype conversations.
Okay.
Okay. I know. I've had a few of these already. So, or whatever, I don't know if you have your laptop handy, we can just set it up here and put his face on the screen and have him talk.
You know what? If you're talking about Jim, he just got a camera, so yeah, it would work. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay,
we'll
cool.
do it.
All right, do like video conferencing with
absolutely.
people.
But I mean, there's just so many great things like that, and that's what Ro and I both want to turn people on to new stuff, and that would be not just new stuff, but go back and get the old stuff, which is new for people as well, and turn you on to stuff. And hopefully, what will entail happening is hopefully one of these labels that restore the new albums.
Yeah.
may pick up one of these
Right.
bands.
If not, like I said in the past, I mean, I have my, I
that's
have
right.
my
You can do
iTunes
it.
stuff and set up, and if we need to re-release it on iTunes, if they're cool with that, we'll call them up, and we'll re-release it for them on iTunes.
Absolutely, I would love to do that too.
Actually, if you want to start, asking around, seeing who wants to do that, we'll
I
set
will
that up.
definitely, man.
Yeah. So cool.
Well,
Here's to another episode.
absolutely. I mean, if
that's
you,
over an hour.
Yeah,
already.
if you are still watching, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. This has been fun for us.
Yeah, the time just flies when we're doing this. We actually lose track of time and go over. We're trying to keep these around an hour apiece, and we could easily go on and on. So we thank you for listening and watching the music. To learn more about us, we're going to have a couple of websites going up. This is the Rock Radio Podcast. We have rockradiopodcast.com, and the label that owns this podcast and the studio that puts this out is rockandrolljihad.com, and you know, I've heard some flack on that name too. But
I love it though.
me too.
Bring on the flag,
Yeah,
man.
bring it on.
Because you know what? It is a jihad right here.
Yeah,
man.
right?
Rock and roll.
This is an explosion of new shit. So it's a revolution.
And it's only getting bigger. And
better. That's it for this evening.
is it? This is it?
Yeah,
All right,
we're at the cutoff point.
Okay. Well, stay with us, and we're gonna have guests and stuff coming up. So you already said that.
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm Chad Von Hayden.
And I'm Rose Sahibi, and this is the Rock Radio Podcast.